Bowie.
Good evening and welcome to what's going to be an unusual programme. In a moment we shall be bouncing ourselves into orbit via a satellite and we'll be landing in Los Angeles, where David Bowie is waiting to talk to us and to sing to us. The boy who was born in Brixton in 1947 and who, after one or two false starts, launched himself on one of the most amazing careers ever known in the pop musical world. His meteoric rise to fame almost equalled that of the mythical character Ziggy Stardust.
Ziggy play guitar.
Let's now go over live by satellite to beautiful downtown Burbank in Los Angeles. Are you there, David Bowie?
Yes.
Last time we met on the air, you were sitting in this studio at this side, and you had a very elegant earring hanging from either your left or right ear, I can't remember.
Individual within oneself.
And how about the shoes? Are those men's shoes or women's shoes or bisexual shoes?
They're shoes, silly.
Do you remember that?
How are you, Russell? It's nice to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to see you, David. You look well. What colour is your hair?
Which bit?
The centre bit at the top, above where your nose would be.
Well, what colour does it look?
Well, it looks like a bit of something out of the end of Straw Dogs.
Something out of the end of Straw Dogs.
Right. Now, you've got an announcement to make to us all, David, haven't you? You're changing your plans for the future, and you've got something up your sleeve for 1976.
Yes. I'm touring, but I'm coming back to England in May to play shows and look at you and look at England.
Well, you know,
and be there, be English.
Again.
Well, as always, but English in England.
You know, you haven't, your accent, your voice, your method of speech has not changed. You've been away for 2 years.
Yeah.
Does that mean you've been locked away somewhere?
Yes, I don't talk to anybody.
But do people talk to you?
I've heard it rumoured, yes.
Now, when you come back to England to sing...
Well, I've always had this thing in my ear, so it's been difficult to hear them.
But people could shout into your other ear, couldn't they?
Yes.
Right. Now, when you come back to England, you're not presumably coming back with the glamoury, glittery Ziggy Stardust.
Ziggy play guitar.
Uh-huh.
Are you coming back as that?
I don't know yet. I haven't even worked on it.
So
I think it'll probably... It'll be a lot more spontaneous.
You haven't planned your wardrobe, you haven't planned a figure, you haven't planned an image, whatever that may mean.
I think the image I may adopt may well be me. I'm sort of inventing me at the moment.
You mean reinventing yourself?
Yeah, self-invented.
From the waist upwards?
Yes, jolly uncomfortable.
Now then, but you really have no simple idea about what you're going to wear? I mean, are you going to wear a little suit, a straight suit, or are you going to be
I know what songs I'm going to sing, which is the most important thing.
Are they new?
But nothing else, no.
Are they new songs?
And I know the kind of musicians I'm bringing back. And I know sort of approximately how long I'm going to sort of play for on stage.
Oh, I'm a failure.
What's brought you back? Are you short of money, or are you short of the feeding off live audience bit?
Oh, hell no, man.
I'm short of England.
In what way? I mean, you do know that the England you left 2 years ago is not the England you're going to come back to.
Yeah, well, this Thursday is nothing like last Thursday, but it's just as important. I'd miss it if it wasn't after Wednesday.
Do you know that the pop scene, though, at this end, the pop world has changed somewhat since you left?
No.
What kind of audience you're going to come back to face?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm thinking in a kind of way you may have to create a whole new scene for yourself.
No.
Well,
I can't qualify that. I'll just come back and play my songs.
You've been quoted as saying, David, that for someone who's not really a very good musician, you've made a lot of rumpus, a lot of noise.
Yeah.
If you don't think you're a good musician, what are you looking for at this moment? What are you searching for?
Got it.
Liquid.
treetop apple juice.
Is it good? Would you spit some across the satellite?
No.
Good. For someone who claims not to be all that good a musician, why are you coming back to perform on stage? Or are you a better musician, in fact, than you admit?
I can't link those two parts. If I'm not that good a musician, why am I coming back?
Yes. Yes.
Well, coming back has got nothing to do with being a musician.
Do you think you're a better musician after 2 years away
I
from...
don't play anything on stage. I'm a good performer, and I'm a good singer. That has nothing to do with being a musician, does it?
Do you have any idea at this stage, apart from just getting out on the stage, how you shall astound us? Or does it actually come to you in the middle of the night before?
I shall probably be a lot fatter than I've been. That'll be my... No, I haven't any thoughts about that at all.
You've just finished making the film called The Man Who Came to Earth.
Fell to earth.
Fell to Earth, I beg your pardon. How much of a new... How easily did you take to the discipline of filmmaking, which is, as we all know, hard...
Oh, quite easily. I'm a very disciplined person, you know. It was exciting for me to work with other people who are as disciplined as I am.
Are you being absolutely accurate and honest when you say you're a disciplined person?
Oh, yes.
You impose a discipline on your own music writing, on your own work, do you? I mean, you don't just get up when you know what I'm saying to you. A lot of people in your position have a kind of reputation.
A discipline doesn't mean that you make sure that you have breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning and you are out of the house by 8:30. Discipline is that if you conceive something, then you decide whether or not it's worth following through, and if it's worth following through, then you follow it through to its logical conclusion and do it with to the best of your ability. That's the discipline. Yes?
I applaud that answer.
Whether there are areas in it that are not to one's liking, you have to go right the way through it and do it, and that's what I do.
But were you yourself a contributory factor to the film? I mean, did Mr. Rhodes stop and say, which way do we go, which way do we move, what do you think? Or were you under total direction?
No, under total direction, my contributing factor was my acting. I'm still a fan of everything. Fan of films, fan of records, fan of rock bands, and fan of yours.
Well, most kind
I
of
am
you.
a fan of yours.
Are you
Great fan
really?
of yours.
Well,
Yeah.
let's get back to eclectic manifestations. What kind of eclectic manifestation do you have of this?
A mountain or a tree is the manifestation of forces that we are not capable of dealing with.
Do you go to church at all?
Well, actually, that's none of your business.
No,
Do you
I
pray?
Why?
yes, of course.
But do you pray to mountains and to trees and to those physical manifestations, or to some kind of spirit?
Would you like to pray to me, Twig?
I don't think I would like to get into that over a 20-minute interview.
You have been stopped.
When I come back to England, I would talk to you about that, yes, at length.
Fine.
But I wouldn't like to nutshell it.
Has the film, that's sensible, has the film whetted your appetite for making more movies?
No, funnily enough, what it did do was increase my appetite for going back to a lot of the bits and pieces I used to do many years ago, like painting, writing, spending free time with myself and my family, getting out of cities.
And relaxing a lot?
No, not relaxing, so much as feeling at ease.
Well, can I let you feel at ease for a second or two while we take a commercial break at this end, and we'll come back in about 2 minutes' time. Meanwhile, stay tuned.
Commercial break.
Welcome back, David Bowie, sitting on some strange beachside back of you in Burbank, Los Angeles. We were talking about films and filmmaking. One of the people I presume you would have liked to have worked with would have been Piero Pasolini.
Would I? I'm not sure whether I like the idea of becoming an actor.
So my baby
You are in
Yeah.
that kind of privileged position, though, aren't you, David, where you don't have to make any kind of decision like that, do you?
Oh, I have to make as many decisions as anybody else every day. Yes, I do have to make decisions.
But
I consider myself fairly responsible.
I presume, I wasn't doubting your own self-responsibility, but I'm saying you are better equipped than most people to make that kind of firm decision about your own future. I will do A, I will
That's not
do...
what you said at all.
That's what I meant. If it's
It's,
if it's not what I
all
said,
right,
it's what I
understand.
meant, right?
Yes, I can make firm decisions.
I mean, you're equipped with fame. You're equipped with a certain amount of fortune. You're equipped with, I presume, the kind of advisors who will give you good advice, and therefore you're not like a girl or a boy sitting in a basement in Notting Hill, struggling to get into some kind of proper situation, who wants to be an actor, who wants to be a film star, who wants to get onto the scene.
I was, though.
Can you remember those days?
Yes, very much.
Comments like darling and can I carry a handbag thrown at us. I think it's just have to stop now.
But does it surprise you that you get this kind of comment? Because after all, you've got really rather long hair, haven't you?
We have, yes.
I'm doing all the things I used to do in those days.
But you see, that's what perhaps makes you better than you would otherwise be, because you can remember that kind of hard discipline and that kind of hard time.
Yeah.
But now you're in a position to enjoy it.
Yes.
Are you enjoying today? Are you enjoying this conversation?
I think it's wonderful. Liar! I do enjoy it. No, I enjoy it a lot. It's a shame it's so short, because these days I'm very careful about launching into sort of
I've noticed that.
discuss. It's only because I like conversation a lot, and it seems such a waste to just, fire away at random.
Right.
This is lovely, though.
Do you-
I think it's moving at a very sensible pace.
Good. And also, I'll tell you what I quite like, which I shouldn't like. I mean, doing this conversation at a distance of X thousand miles.
It's odd, isn't it?
It's very odd, but I don't mind you not answering questions. I mean, there are about 5 difficult questions I've thrown at you.
Yes,
And I'm happy
it's
that
only
you, I'm happy that you don't give the answers to them, because you're quite
It's
right.
the lack of time. It's the lack of time.
Right.
I'm looking for a house
For the both of you.
because, yes, we shall stay there for a little while whilst we're touring Europe.
If she's going to see this program, which
For
she
the
will.
3 of us.
For
3 of us.
And for Zoe. How do you say it?
Yes,
How old is he now?
Zoe.
How old is he now?
Well, he's 4.5, coming up for 5 in sort of May.
And does he go to play school or whatever it is?
Yes, yes.
Is he bright?
University. Yes,
Does he know?
he's very bright.
Does he know who
He's
you
a
are?
child. I mean, he's as bright as any child should be at 4.5. He's not a prodigy of any kind, thank God.
Yet.
Yeah.
Give him time, baby. Give him time. You know, also, since you've been away, or quite recently, the newspapers have been having a bit of a bash at your mother. And saying that she's a bit tearful from time to time, and that she's suffering a certain amount of anguish, and that she doesn't hear from you an awful lot. Is that eyewash or is it real?
That's really my own business.
And that's how it's going to stay, is it?
Mind your business, Dave!
Yes. I see you still have a keen sense of rumour, Russell.
Highly developed sense of rumour.
Are you sure about that?
Well, David, we're coming towards the end of our all too brief conversation.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think what we might do is end with a bit of music, because I gather that at your end, at beautiful downtown Burbank, you have some music with you. I mean, you're not going to get up on your feet and do it, but
No, I wish I could actually, but time won't permit it. But we'll see. I know what it is. I'm very drunk in this.
in what? In the bit we're going to
What
see?
you'll see now. I was very nervous, so I had a couple of drinks, which I never do. I really shouldn't have. It's lovely. It's very funny.
Does it show?
Oh yes.
Well, let's have a look at it. The song is called "The Shape of Things to Come," and David Bowie. No, of course it isn't. We're having a preview of The Shape of Things to Come. The song is called "Golden Tears." Mr. David Bowie will come back to you after
You
we've
did
seen the
get it
song.
wrong.
I did
It's
get
years.
it. Years. Why don't you introduce it from that end?
This is David Bowie singing Golden Years from his forthcoming album, Station to Station.
satellite taking you nowhere. Some of these days and it won't be long, gonna drive back down where you once belonged, in the back of a green car 20 foot long. Don't cry my sweet, don't break my heart, doing all right, you've got to get smart. We shall fun, day upon day, I believe, oh Lord, I'll believe always.
Very well done. It didn't seem all that intoxicated to me. You seem to be well in control of that situation.
Oh, that's my judgment.
That's my opinion!
Are you a stern critic of yourself?
Yes.
But you're happy that we should all have seen that, even though you think you weren't in full control of that situation?
Oh, yes, of course.
You were wearing a demob suit or something. What kind of a suit was it?
The suit?
I know, but do you know what a demob suit is?
Yes, yes. It's the kind of thing people wore when they came out of armies.
That's right. I mean, a lot of bags around the knees and things.
Yes, it was functional. It was a functional suit. That suit was very functional. It was a functional suit.
Right, now I'll tell you what, David, we've had quite a functional conversation. I mean, you have functioned
It's
at your...
been very good, I liked it though.
Well, you functioned at your end, and the satellites functioned in the middle of the sky, and I functioned at this end, and you wore a functional earpiece, and you've had a functional glass of whatnot at your side.
And I hope the functional English functionally enjoyed this.
I'm functionally sure they
Very
functionally
much.
will have done. But I'm going to hold you
you.
to your promise, which is when you do come back, we'll keep the airwaves open a bit longer.
Most certainly, I'd love to do that. I'd appreciate that a lot.
We won't talk about Andrew, we won't talk about your mother, we won't talk about Zoe, we'll talk about extraterrestrials.
Let's not plan it. The worst thing we can do is plan a conversation.
Meanwhile, can I wish you a happy Christmas?
Let's have a telephone on the show.
A phone in?
And have people, yes.
Will you do that?
I'd love to.
Well, if we can get satellites across half the world, I think we can get a telephone from Clapham.
I'm sure we can.
Meanwhile...
Yes, that would be wonderful. I'd like to do that a lot.
All right. And you'll be truthful and honourable and answer every question that's put to you?
I'll be David Bowie.
Which is a useful and functional end to this interview. God bless you. Happy Christmas and good night.
Thank you. I love you very much, all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Bowie. David Bowie from Burbank, Los Angeles. I can now get rid of this piece of equipment and introduce you to something completely different.